I have given a name to my pain. The Batman.
Always waiting for some Batman to save you.
It's simple. We kill the Bat of Gotham.
You don't really think you'll win, do you?
I'm Batman.
Hey now, welcome to episode 21 of the Batman on Film vlog. I am the host of this here vlog, as well as the founder and editor-in-chief of Batman on Film, Jett Ramey. With me today, as usual, most cases, almost all cases, is my fellow Texan and Batman fan, Cowboy fan, Longhorn fan, Rick Shew. Rick, how you doing?
I'm doing well. So our vlog is now of legal drinking age.
Yeah, it is. I didn't think about that.
We need to take it out for a drink.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Let me get a drink of water here. If you like what we do here on the Batman on Film vlog, or the podcast, or Batman on Film proper, you can support us over at Patreon and become a Batman on Film patron, I should say. Patreon.com/BatmanOnFilm, and then also Batman on Film, the vlog and the podcast, is part of the Batman Podcast Network. Check out all the shows at BatmanPodcastNetwork.com, which Batman on Film also is the host of that website and network. So, Rick, you got a few things to plug, correct?
Yeah, at the top of the show here, both Justin and Ryan have some things coming up, so I want to talk about those just for a moment. I'm going to be reading off my, doing the news here, Bill. Okay, so it looks like there is a Comic-Con Revolution in Ontario, California, and that is Saturday, May 19th. Mm-hmm. Okay, so if you are going, or were thinking about going, this could sway you and encourage you to go. So there's going to be a panel called Batman in Cinema, and it's past, present, and the future. And it's Saturday at 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., and it's in room 104B. All right, so join BOF's own Justin Kowalski and Andy DiGenova from Holy Batcast and Matt Ritchie from the Let's Go comic show as they discuss the legend of Batman in cinema and his impact on pop culture, the best of the bats, some missteps, and where we're headed into the future. Hey, I think this is cool, man. You know? Yeah. This is really cool. To have Andy and Justin together, that's awesome. And then Matt from Let's Go. That's a great panel. Yeah. So if you're
repping Batman on Film.
Yeah. Holy Batcast, Batman on Film, and Let's Go. Listen, that's an all-star panel of guys that know what the hell they're talking about and that are very passionate about Batman. So please check that out. Support us, support Let's Go, and support Holy Batcast. Okay.
I'll have something up. That is not next weekend, but the following, I believe. It's the 19th of May.
It's the 19th, May 19th. That's right.
Saturday, May 19th.
Andy DiGenova.
Comic-Con Revolution, Ontario, California. And I came, close this weekend to booking a flight and hotel and going out there, but I'm going to save this Batman on Film trip for something else. I got a few things in the work. Maybe Comic-Con in San Diego in July, but something there's something we're working on.
Cool.
It's going to take me to California, and we're
doing
for that.
Yeah, and we're doing our 20th anniversary of Batman on Film stuff. So got a lot of cool things to talk about as that's starting to unfold. Okay, then real quick, Ryan Haas and Justin Kowalski are joined by Ryan's pal Matt and Rob from Everyone Loves the Drake to celebrate the 25th anniversary of Batman Knightfall. They interview writer Chuck Dixon. He's also the co-creator of Bane. and to hear his stories of how Knightfall came to be, what it was like to develop the story with Denny O'Neil as the editor, and what the heart of the story is truly all about. And I think that's going to be a great show, man. We're going to probably get that up, tomorrow or Tuesday?
Yeah.
Podcast?
Yeah, early next week, Monday or Tuesday. Were you reading comics regularly when Knightfall came out?
I was. In fact, I've been rereading some Knightfall stuff recently. And, I saw your exchange on Twitter about that the other day. I know that you're not crazy about it, just really because, I'm going to put words in your mouth here, because you feel like it just went in too many different directions, right? And it was a lot of overlap.
Okay, there were 3 parts. Remember, there was Knightfall, there was Night Quest, and then Night's End. And I thought it was long, man. It was over a year before all that was resolved, and it splintered out into, from Batman to Detective to Shadow the Bat to Legend of the Dark Knight to Robin to Showcase, and I just got wore out. And
well, it just was a big. It wasn't anything about the quality of it. It was just a big commitment. And
I like the Knightfall part. I'm not really too big on Night's Quest or Night Quest and Night's End, and I actually like the whole Death of Superman saga better. That was a funny time in comics where there were all these events. You know what I'm saying? Remember all the big events and crossovers and all that stuff. It kind of wore me out of comics, to be honest. By the mid to late 90s, I got away from comics altogether until the early 2000s. So
you weren't excited about the resurrection of Superman in his black suit?
Like I said, I like that better. I followed both. I've got, look, in my closet over here, and I got totes. I got every comic that was part of Knightfall, the whole thing. I got like 5 copies of Batman 500. If you remember, it was like this crazy special cover where you had the John Paul Valley armored up Batman on the front, and you could kind of pull it back, and then there was the Bruce Wayne Batman underneath. And I just like I said, I got tired of the stunts, the stunts and these multi-issue, multi-title crossovers. I was always like, look, I want to read Batman. Let me read Batman proper, the title, and I don't want to have to go buy, Robin or Catwoman or whatever to continue a story. But they've, for the most part, they've got away with that. We've had other stuff, since, but that 90s era was really, there was a lot of that. It was in Marvel too, not just DC. So anyway.
Right. Well, I'm looking forward to the discussion. I had sent Ryan a message and said, just curious, it's not necessarily pertinent to your podcast, but did you by chance get his thoughts on Bane, Nolan's Bane? He said not really into this, but I guess they had him on the Everyone Loves the Drake podcast before, right? He's been a guest with those guys before. Yeah, and I think they dived into it then. So that's a show for me to revisit or to visit.
Do you know I never heard it. You know what Chuck Dixon's take on Nolan's take of Bane was?
I do not. And that's what I was wondering I figured I could Google it, and I'm sure that it's on record somewhere, but I really wanted to hear it from, as he's talking to our guys.
Would you say that, if I said that Nolan's version of Bane improved the comic book version of the character, would you agree or disagree?
I would agree with that, and it's also fair to point out that a lot of what was going on in that film and The Dark Knight Rises was inspired by a lot of the things that transpired in these stories. So
there's a bit of there's a little Knightfall in The Dark Knight Rises.
I mean, and also there's no way Nolan wasn't going to put the iconic scene of Bane breaking Batman's back. We knew that was going to be in there.
Yeah,
and would agree.
Bane, live action Bane, was done better. Was it Batman and Robin or The Dark Knight Rises?
Come on, man. Come on. Batman and Robin's Bane is so,
Bane. Yeah.
Just, one-dimensional nonsense.
Yep. All right.
Let me ask you a quick question.
Yeah.
You and I both shared disdain for Batman Returns.
Yes.
You're sitting on your couch.
Mm-hmm.
Batman Returns comes on. Batman and Robin comes on. You have to watch one. There's a gun to your head. Which one do you watch?
Batman and Robin.
Okay.
Batman and Robin. I can watch Batman and Robin today. I still can't put in Returns and get through it. I do not like that movie.
I think I would choose.
Like that movie.
No, I hate it too. But I would choose Returns just for the Michelle Pfeiffer stuff. At least there's that.
Yeah.
I don't even like Poison Ivy and Batman and Robin. There's nothing.
Well,
about
I could say that
I like some of the scenes between Bruce and Alfred, but they are really fleeting. But I mean, just the mistletoe scene.
Yeah, the Bruce and Alfred stuff in Batman and Robin is pretty good. I mean, if you want to be if you're objective, you know.
Yeah, it is good.
You know, Batman surfing, jumping out of a rocket, and Batman and Robin surfing is ridiculous. And
hey, but wait, did you ever actually say what his thoughts were on Bane?
I was just asking. I don't know.
Oh, you don't know?
I
Okay,
don't know.
Gotcha. Okay, I got you.
Need to get Ryan to.
You asked that, then you asked me what if I thought it improved the character, and then we never got.
I do not know. That's why I thought of that question.
Gotcha.
All right, so we're going to talk first about Batman Ninja, which I
look at you. Look at you with a Blu-ray already.
Yes, that's because I'm me.
That's because you're you.
No, yes, I got this from the fine folks at Warner Brothers.
And I spent 45 minutes effing around on iTunes last night trying to get that to work. But
Amazon, dude.
Thank you, Amazon.
Yes. Thank you to the fine folks at Warner Brothers Home Video, DC, and everyone involved who send me these things to preview and promote as well. I do promote all this stuff leading up to the film, and then this is going to be my review and Rick's review. We'll do it here on this vlog. And Pete Vera actually went to the New York City premiere of Batman Ninja this past week, like Tuesday I think it was, and his review of it was posted on Batman on Film this morning, and he did some interviews and stuff, and Justin is working on that, so that should be up on Batman on Film shortly. And of course the Blu-ray will be available this coming Tuesday, May 9th, wherever fine Blu-rays are sold, like the one here that I just showed you. And of course, it's been available digitally for about, I guess, maybe a month now. I know that they released the digital about a month before, but anyway, it's been available on digital for a while. That's how Rick watched the digital via Amazon. I watched the Blu-ray. So, Rick, what do you think?
Okay, so I tweeted last night. I was about 20 minutes into it, maybe 30. And what's the runtime on that thing? Hour and 20? Right?
Somewhere around there.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, so it's maybe halfway through, somewhere in that. Paused to get a drink. Thought I'd tweet and say, man, this is just badassery so far. Love it, whatever. And then someone had asked me, oh yeah, no, it was shockingly good. And someone asked me, well, why are you surprised that you like it? And I kind of misspoke and said Batman animated films thus far have not been very good. And so what I was trying to say is just recently I haven't been impressed with anything. Plus, and I failed to mention this on Twitter, it's a pertinent piece of this, is that I don't know about you, Bill, but I've never really been into Japanese animation.
I'm not an anime guy.
I'm not an anime guy at all, right?
Even though I was a Speed Racer fan when I was a kid. That counts as anime, right? Speed Racer is anime, right?
Ask FJ, dude. I'm so bad at this.
Anyway.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, bottom line, I'm not.
I'm not
a manga anime guy, and I don't say I was leery of it, but it's just not my thing. But I mean, look, it's Batman.
But you also like Gotham by Gaslight, which I don't like.
Yeah,
I like the comic, but I don't like the adaptation. Yeah. I don't like the Batman and Harley Quinn, the Killing Joke. There's been some pretty bad.
Batman Harley Quinn is gosh awful.
And that's what I'm saying. There's been I'm not counting the Adam West stuff, and I haven't seen Scooby-Doo, but there's just been, I feel like that we've been burned by some animated films as of late. Plus,
Scooby-Doo,
and I'm gonna look at this from 30. I'm gonna look at this from 30,000 feet. I think Gotham is atrocious. Batman in cinemas in limbo, and I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like comics is the only place to go, which is fine, and that's cool. And it's also been giving me an opportunity to get caught up on comics. But I just went in going, man, there's not anything. Yeah, it's so great. There's not anything. It's not just that I've been reading though. There just wasn't anything that led me to believe that I was going to really like this, other than the fact that it was Batman centric. And I tell you what, man, I thoroughly enjoyed this.
Yeah,
I really, it's beautiful. Now listen,
it's a crazy ass story.
Yes, and about 40 minutes into it, it does start to wear on me a little bit, because it gets pretty heavy on the influences that it's drawing from. It gets, if you're not into that style, it can start to wear thin a little bit. But that's to be expected if it's not your cup of tea. But the fact that I liked it anyway, it's a big testimony. I really love the depiction of the characters. I love what they did with the villains. The Joker was freaking awesome. Harley Quinn was great. Batman was cool. I love the way that I don't want to give anything away here, but he's basically forced pretty early on to rely on him just being him with no gadgets.
Well, and that's part of it. I mean, we can talk about the synopsis. I mean, here's the whole thing. I mean, and like I said, it's nuts. It's not something I want to see in live action. But, you know, I know sometimes I may sound hypocritical, because I tend to accept and like things.
But Bill, everything that works in animation and comics works on film, dude. It's just the execution, Bill.
I apologize, but
I want to see a live action Batman movie where he time travels to medieval Japan.
Yeah, that would be awesome. But anyway.
How many people are rolling their eyes right now watching
several.
this? Yeah, my Twitter's already blowing up.
Look, Gorilla Grodd, who is a talking gorilla, who is, anyway, I mean, he's usually a Flash villain, but he's in this, and he somehow creates a time machine and sends himself, Batman, the whole Bat family, and Two-Face,
Penguin,
Catwoman, the Penguin,
Bane,
and Bane. Did I miss a villain? I don't think so.
You said Penguin, Joker, Harley Quinn, Two-Face, Penguin. We said, I think that's everybody, right? Joker, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Joker, Harley Quinn. They're all in medieval Japan, and you know, Batman's got his stuff. He's got his wonderful toys. But he's not able to use them. I'll just leave. I'll let you find out why. So yeah, he has to resort to being a man and being Batman. You know?
There's even a moment where he has like his grapple gun, and he looks around and he realizes there's not the architecture for him to be able to use it. I love that scene because But what I also love about it, it's perfect Batman, because he's looking around. He's like, oh shit, okay, there's not anything to attach this to. Plan B, and he shifts gears and does what Batman does. It's really nuanced things like that. I really like.
Yes, and it's I thought it was just, look, I'm with you. There's kind of a part where, of course, you see this a lot in films, where you think it's ending and then it's not ending, and there's like, you know what I mean? You know, you get it. You watched. You know what I'm talking about.
And that's kind of where I was going with that. Okay, it got a little anticlimactic for me.
But but overall, the story was fun. I think, even though I'm not a huge anime guy, I think it was the most beautifully animated Batman film ever. Would I be? Am I stepping out, saying too much when I say that?
I don't think that's a fair.
It was a beautiful looking piece of art.
Gorgeous.
Yes, it is.
It is.
Yes,
absolutely. And you know, the finale is great.
Yes,
and it had a really cool ending.
The finale is great. 1939. That's all I'll say. But anyway,
I was bored for about 15-20 minutes of it. I was kind of looking forward to it ending. You know, I caught myself doing that. Plus, it was also very late, so I was getting tired. Yeah, so there was a lot of that was. But then the ending, just the way it tied everything up, the last fight with Batman Joker, the very final scene, I went to bed on a good note. I just wasn't expecting. Now, am I going to proactively revisit that? Probably not. But you know, what if it's on? If somebody else wants to watch it, I'd jump right on it. And who knows? I may pop it in a few weeks or a couple months again, just for the hell of it.
I'll give it another go, but I'm with you. I don't know if it'll be on my my rotation.
Right.
There's still some animated films. I mean, I will watch. Of course, I loved Gotham by Gaslight. I'll watch it again. Of course, Mask of the Phantasm is a classic, and there's a bunch of others that I will watch. But
I am actually going to watch that again next week because it got me talking about it today, and that is a masterpiece.
Mask of the Phantasm.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Overall, look, I recommend. Look, if you're a collector, if you get all these, then buy it. It's worth buying and adding to your collection. Okay. I would not say that about Batman Harley Quinn. I would not. I would say, in fact, I said don't buy it. If you just like to watch, Rick, how much was it on Amazon?
I think it was $15.
$15 for the digital.
But I also didn't get it in HD either,
okay.
So that was been another $5 or whatever.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So it's what? I think it's like $20 for the Blu-ray. So, but yeah, buy it if you collect. It's worth buying for your collection. I think you'll enjoy it. If you are an anime fan, you'll probably absolutely love it. I would say.
Yes.
I really want to get.
If you're an anime and a Batman fan, this is you're gonna just right up your alley.
I want to get F.J. DeSanto's opinion on it because he is an anime guru. He likes all that stuff, and
hey, more power to him, man.
He's an expert, I would say, and I want to know what he thought about it. And he loves Batman, so I would give it it's a B plus in my book. It's beautiful to look at. It was fun to watch. I recommend it. I don't think it's an animated classic, but it's really darn good and it looks fabulous. That's what I would say. Rick, any final thoughts on Ninja?
I agree with that. I give it a solid B.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
cool.
Let's move on to another movie that I have not seen. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not jonesing to go see it, and I live like a stone's throw from a theater with an IMAX, and you've been to this theater, so and I am talking about Avengers Infinity War, which you saw Monday.
Yes,
like it matters,
Monday.
But you saw it almost a week ago, and so. You tell the Batman on Film audience your take on this.
Okay,
this
so all right, so here's my view.
The MCU.
I talk a lot on Twitter and online about how with DC films that I prefer Batman to be alone. I want a Superman standalone. I'm not particularly crazy about the crossover stuff because I think it just inevitably waters down characters that I'd rather just see in the spotlight. With Marvel, it was always a little different for me because I'm not as emotionally invested in these characters anyway. So if they're watered down a bit, who cares? It's just really good fun. I love the first Avengers. It was great. But after watching Infinity War, I realized, I'm like, it's really good. And if you are into the crossover films, I mean, listen, the biggest compliment I can give this movie is how beautifully it balances out all these tonally different franchises. Like when the Guardians of the Galaxy folks show up in this, it could have been very jarring, and it wasn't. And they've got it, man. They're masters at making these movies.
So it doesn't feel bloated.
No, well, listen, it doesn't feel like it's confusing. It doesn't feel like there's all these overlapping styles that aren't working, that aren't meshing well together. It's very seamless, and that's an impressive thing to pull off, right?
Yeah. Well, let's be fair that the Marvel films, which are producer driven, Kevin Feige, there's a bit of carryover in the way they look to a certain degree. I mean, I know they're different filmmakers, but it's more like the MCU is more like a TV show. You know what I mean? It is, but there are some tonal differences. Yeah. Yes. There are some tonal differences, especially with Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay, so all that said, I want to go into some more things I really liked about it. But I still found myself at the end of this thing going, all right, if I broke down my favorite MCU films, right? You know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of Civil War, which was a crossover film and as well, but that movie's freaking amazing. But really, stuff like Ant-Man, Spider-Man: Homecoming, Iron Man, the first one, The Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton. Right. Those are my favorite films. And I'm like, man, maybe it's just me, and that I still would rather just to see these films that are more standalone. And some crossover. Like, I don't personally have a problem with the Iron Man stuff in Spider-Man: Homecoming. It works. Now, especially after Infinity War, because he's basically in Tony's shadow the whole film. They do need to let Tom Holland's Spider-Man breathe without him. I would almost prefer. I don't know if it's possible, but if Robert Downey is even in Spider-Man: Homecoming 2, make it very minimal. Right, he needs to breathe. He needs to breathe, especially after Infinity War. I didn't feel that way after Homecoming. It worked, but after this, and so maybe that's just it. And maybe I'm also liking these characters even more. Yeah. Look, I still haven't grown tired of Robert Downey's Tony Stark. I just haven't. It's so good. But again, I think I just still prefer to have these characters be focused on individually. And here's where I start having issues with this movie. The movie itself, I don't have any kind of problem with. Some of the adulation that it's getting, for me, my opinion is that's a little head-scratching. Like this notion that it's this beautiful, perfect, epic film. Okay, I don't really feel it. I feel the ending was empty because it's obviously very predictable what's going to happen, and so you're just watching it unfold and you don't think anything of it. And that's okay. You can know that, you know, things are, I don't know, it could be anything, any kind of prequel, anything that you know that, well, the stakes are only so high because you know what's going to happen. Take the Star Wars prequels. You watch those, well, you know that little boy is going to become Darth Vader, right? You just already know that. So there's not a whole lot that can happen that can resonate with you emotionally. It's just going to have to be how it's in its execution, right? And so to be fair, there's some of that in this, but it just doesn't quite work. And I don't like how they have reduced, man, I tell you what, dude, the Hulk in this thing, and I'm trying to talk also, I'm trying to be sensitive to people that haven't seen the film yet. I don't want to be completely spoily here. But, dude, Mark Ruffalo's Hulk,
I think most people who are watching this have seen it. So
it sucks. I mean, flat out sucks. Like, I don't know what they're thinking. They have made Bruce Banner and his Hulk just this punchline, and he's all slapstick and shit, and it's just goofy. And you take such an interesting and complex character like Dr. Banner and his Hulk, and you have reduced it to this bumbling. I mean, it's just a bunch of dumb jokes, and it's just so.
And you're going, yeah, that's pretty cool. This is a pretty cool movie, and then the Hulk and Banner, you're going, this is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Did it take you out of the movie? Ridiculous?
It absolutely did. And I know that it's been many years, but I kept thinking, you know, I've never really been crazy about Mark Ruffalo in the role anyway. Yeah. And I know that Ed Norton, there were reasons why he didn't come back. It wasn't a black and white thing. That was a pretty, you know, there was a lot of tension and issues with that. But if he wasn't able to come back, just something about the gravitas of Edward Norton, to find an actor like that I think Hulk deserves. And Mark Ruffalo is a fine actor, but not every actor is suitable for every role, right? There's a lot of great actors that I just think are amazing, but I don't want to see them playing Batman, right? And I don't like him in the role, and this was by far the worst. Now, I didn't see the last Thor film. It just was off my radar and I missed it.
Okay.
So I don't know how Hulk with Ragnarok. Yeah. So I don't know how Hulk was portrayed in that. I read up on it because I know that some of the ending of that led up to the beginning of this Avengers, so I want to be caught up, and I will get around to seeing it. But I just don't like what they've done with Hulk.
Okay.
I think the ending was empty. I don't like Spider-Man being in space for 2 hours.
Yeah. Talk about that just for a second. I was going to ask you the Spider-Man in space thing, which. Tell me.
Well, he's in space most of the movie with Tony Stark.
Shouldn't he be like the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man in New York?
Well, he'll say in the movie, I can't be the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man and there's not a neighborhood. And that actually is a good line. But it's still just...
Oh, I didn't know that. That's clever, but still, it's kind of like...
It's a good line.
Yeah.
Look, I love Spider-Man. It's my favorite Marvel character.
Me too.
I like him better than I like most DC characters. I love Spider-Man, Peter Parker. And this kid is freaking awesome. I call him a kid. He's a 22, 23-year-old man. But Tom Holland is just perfect. Dude, he's so good. And then Tony Stark is so good.
Best actor to portray Spider-Man, in my opinion, to
So-
date. And I liked Tobey Maguire, you know.
I just, but to have them in the predicament they were in for the majority of the movie was just, it was a little goofy to me.
Okay.
Now, let me say this. Now, let me go back to positive, okay? Because I still think this thing's a good, like, B plus. I mean, it's a fun Avengers movie, and it's a good movie, and it's not. There are a lot of issues I have with it, obviously, and I just think some of the adulation is very confusing to me. But that's just me. But the performances outside of Mark Ruffalo, dude, so great. Josh Brolin, man,
Who's
gay.
Performance-wise, is he at he's Brolin? Is he at the top of the list?
Yes,
Okay.
he gives a magnificent performance. And then again, I'm not tired of Robert Downey. I love Tom Holland. I mean, Thor's great in it. You know, everybody in it is great. It's just, you know, again, it's like a balancing act. This how I just view the film as a film on its own, and then the people's response to it. And those two things don't really jive with me. That's just me.
Okay.
I have a lot of friends that feel this way, that aren't crazy about it.
You think it's getting overpraised for what it actually is?
Well, look,
is that fair to say?
I don't want to claim that anyone's being disingenuous.
Yeah.
Okay. I just, because that's silly. I can't get inside people's heads, or why they would do that. I just don't personally get it. It didn't resonate with me on that kind of level at all.
Okay. Fair enough.
And it's not even in my top 5 MCU.
Okay. What was your grade again? You give it a B-ish, what you said?
Yeah, I'll give it a B plus. I mean, look, again, it's good. It's really good. I'd see it again.
Are you?
And, you know,
okay. Did it leave you saying, I can't wait for the next Avengers film to see what happens next and how it finishes up or whatever?
You know what I'm excited about? I'm excited about Spider-Man sequel. I'm excited about the new Ant-Man film.
Look, hey, I'm gonna go see it. Probably, maybe I'll wait till next weekend. But like,
has an interesting post-credit scene, so just stick around for that.
Okay, all right.
And then we'll talk about the post-credit scene.
Good stuff. I'd like to see you discuss this with someone who thinks it's awesome, and as well. On the same panel, someone who thinks it's a piece of shit. You know what I mean? I mean, I'd love to get that dynamic in.
Well, no, and I've gone, like, my buddy Micah. He's a huge comic book guy. I mean, like, the guy is walking encyclopedia. I don't want to say hates it, but he's like, dude, this thing is just crap. There's some decent things here and there. I don't know, maybe he does hate it. I'm like, dude, come on, man. It's not crap on any imaginable level. It's not, no way. You can't even say that because of, and then I've got other friends like, this is the best thing since sliced bread. I'm like, oh, tap your brakes. So yeah, I would love that kind of conversation. I haven't got a chance to listen to the Batman on Film podcast yet with Avengers, although people seem to really dig it. So who was all on that show? And forgive me, I should know this, but obviously Ryan and Justin.
Yeah. And
then they had, who?
I have not listened yet.
I haven't listened yet either. So go to Batman on Film and look up the Avengers podcast. I'm going to listen to it. I'm going to listen to it today, in fact. And I'm just curious if anybody on that panel has a view that's similar to mine.
Okay. You know, I had people, like, when I posted that podcast, or like this would be on Facebook or Twitter, say, why are y'all talking about Avengers Infinity War? This is a Batman site. And I'm like, I mean, come on. we do other stuff besides Batman. Yes, Batman it's focused on Batman, and the whole, my whole thing is, as it's been for 20 years, is to lobby for good Batman films, and that's the main goal and purpose of the site. But we like to talk about other stuff. We talk about Star Wars. We had a Rocky podcast, and we have other things we're kicking around doing. So come on, enjoy.
No, you know what this is? This is a pop culture site that focuses 90% on Batman, and 10% we talk about other things. And we're going to talk about other movies. We're going to certainly talk about things that are comic book driven, and we're certainly going to talk about Avengers Infinity War, which, by the way, my favorite part in Avengers was, honestly.
Okay, tell me.
Because I saw it not in IMAX technical, because I went to the Cinemark, so it's their XD, their version of IMAX, same thing, really. At least to someone like me, I don't have the ability to make those distinctions that are so like pristine. You know what I mean? Like some people might say, well, IMAX technically has. I'm like, whatever. It's just big and badass to me. But so to see the Solo trailer on the big screen was awesome.
Okay, well, you set me up, and also I was going to refer to. I was going to say, speaking of which, other things we talk about, including Star Wars. Solo is coming out in just a few weeks. Yeah, so we should be getting hopefully press passes for that. You're gonna have to go to that, man. I'm going.
So,
sure
dude,
it'll be a 2:00-er, like a lot of these.
Disney.
So was the Avengers and I had to miss it because of work, and then
I missed the Avengers and I missed Black Panther.
The Last Jedi I went to. It was at 2:00. I went to that one though.
I'm
going to see Solo.
If it's Batman or Star Wars, dude, like I'll burn houses down for those press
What
reviews.
did you want to say about Solo? Go ahead.
Well, there was just a lot of speculation in terms of what this film was going to do box office wise, and quite honestly, we still don't know. I mean, we won't know until it's tallied up, and if it gets bad reviews and bad word of mouth, it won't have any legs anyway. With that said, it's I wasn't sure if it was going to be. I wasn't exactly sure where it was going to open. Like, is it going to open at 100 million? I think so, but I don't know. I wasn't sure. But it's now, they're saying 170. Whoa. Dude, 170.
That's what it's tracking as.
And yes, and ticket pre-sales and everything. It's already it's on track to pass up Rogue One. And one might say, well, it should. Like, why? Rogue One had Vader in it, and it was a very nostalgic film that was leading up to A New Hope, and plus it was a December release. It was not sandwiched in between Deadpool and the Avengers. So we'll see. I have to give a lot of credit to Ron Howard, who stepped in and seems to have steered the ship in a direction that people are excited about this movie, because there was some fan backlash of The Last Jedi. There was there was a lot of drama behind the scenes with Solo, because it had those two directors, and then they were fired. And then, when and we know this is better than anybody, when how the sausage is made becomes such a topic of discussion online, it can hinders people's enthusiasm for a movie. If they, you know what I mean? Yeah. And so it becomes just kind of bad PR. And Ron Howard has stepped in, from his social media presence to his little TV appearances, and how much joy and fun he's bringing to this project. And you just feel it. And you see him and his enthusiasm, and you're going, man, and not to mention these trailers and featurettes and everything look great. I think that Ron Howard, could have ultimately, once we find out, a year down the road, how bad things really were and what he did to bring it back, assuming that my expectations hold up and this film is going to be a lot of fun. I think he's going to be they're going to have a statue of him out in front of Lucasfilm. Like, this guy came in and saved the Solo movie. Got fans excited about it. I mean, 170, dude. I was not expecting that. That's nearly double what I thought it might.
Well,
it might be.
All right. So look, I'm looking forward to it. You're going to do a Solo podcast, right?
Yeah, I'll do a reaction after the film.
Yeah.
And then of course we'll do official review. We'll do a podcast on that as well.
Okay.
And I'm going to listen to the BOF podcast today on the Avengers.
Infinity War, yes. Okay.
Infinity War.
That's new. A lot of new stuff this week. I dug up some old school BOF. If you see OS BOF on the site, and part of the title, it's stuff from the old original Batman on film that I'm bringing over. You know, it was Ryan had did a piece on the best Batman video games. This was from back in 2014. I dug up Paul Ware's. He went for me to the Batman Begins set back in 2004, and I have the first installment of that set visit. I'm digging up some more stuff from the Dark Knight, of my Dark Knight coverage from back then, back in 2007 and 8, because of course we're marking the 10th anniversary of the Dark Knight. And so check all that out. And again, Rick, just real quickly plug those two things that you mentioned at the beginning, the Comic-Con panel of Justin and Ryan's Knightfall.
So Andy DiGenova from Holy Batcast, and Justin and from Batman on Film, Matt Ritchie from Let's Go. They will be in Ontario, California at Comic Con Revolution on Saturday, May 19th from 2 to 3 p.m. in room 104B. Batman and Cinema, past, present, and the future. 3 passionate Batman fans that are smart. And I wish I could be there. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
And then Ryan and Justin's Knightfall podcast with Chuck Dixon, who's the co-creator of Bane, and that's up now. No, I'm sorry, it's not up now. We'll have that up tomorrow,
Monday or Tuesday, I believe.
Or Monday or Tuesday. What is up now is their Avengers podcast.
The Avengers podcast is up, yes.
Right.
And this here vlog, episode 21, is about to be up, as well as you can check out the weekend review today. In addition, yeah.
Let me say one thing real quick, so we'll end on a Batman note here. You're having all these like past interviews and things that are represent the Nolan era. Aren't you ready for that shit again?
Yes.
That excitement. That excitement for Batman.
Yes.
I know we've talked about this. Make this an event. You know.
I want to start following a Batman movie. I'm talking. It's going to happen. It's going into production. We're filming the thing. That's what I want to do again. I'm tired of. Look, I've said Batman needs a break. I get it, and see, it's working because my anticipation level is growing because I'm missing Batman. I want to have that. We haven't had that. We didn't have that for BVS.
Well, to be fair, leading up to it, we kind of did.
Yes,
certainly.
Look, yes, we covered it. I was looking forward to BVS. It wasn't like Dark Knight, Batman Begins, Rises, 89.
It wasn't.
It just wasn't. And I want that again. I want to cover a solo Batman film.
Be excited
about it. Yes.
Yep.
And post stuff and get people excited. And
what's the car going to look like? What's the costume going to look like? Who's playing it?
Yes. Who's playing Batman?
Who's playing
what's
Batman?
What's he going to look like?
Team
Yes,
Jake.
all of that.
I'm still Team Jake until this thing's official.
Team
Jake all the way.
I think if you're watching this, you are listening to the podcast version. You're ready for that too, audience.
I wonder. You think Matt Reeves has? Because you know how Twitter is, man. He probably gets 40 million notifications a day. Do you think he's seen any of John Reagan's cool artwork?
Possibly.
You know, because we tagged the hell out of all that stuff. You know.
Possibly.
But that stuff is cool, man.
Possibly. Yeah, I want to get to that again. All right, let's plug. What do you have to plug, Rick? Speaking of plugs.
Well, I plugged the guy stuff.
Okay.
I would just say follow me on Twitter at ShewRick, SHEWRICK.
All right. You can follow me at Batman on Film on Twitter. Also, if you are a Facebooker and like Batman, we have a private Facebook group, Batman on Film discussion group. You can find that and apply, and if you're cool, we'll let you in. If you're cool like me and Rick, kind of, you can get in that cool, super cool, hip discussion group. And
but I'm not allowed to let anybody in. So,
well, it's not like you're on double secret probation. There's a reason.
That's an inside joke.
Yes.
Let's not bore everybody with that.
I guess we get botted or obscure, fictional, not real people try to join all the time, but that's a whole different discussion. But whatever.
A whole different discussion, and then I'm gonna kind of end this too. I'm gonna make a quick plug as well.
All right,
because I forgot to mention this. One thing that I have planned for BOF is I have an op-ed I want to write about my opinion on how you can make Robin work in a live-action film. And I'm going to start working on that next week.
All right.
Okay. I have some very specific opinions that, and I'm hoping the same thing with my Batman Without Gods, that it inspires some really awesome debates.
I think, look, hey, I'm looking forward to reading that. I'm of the opinion that Nolan got Robin right in The Dark Knight Rises with John Blake.
I do too. I love the hybrid Robin that becomes Batman. I do, but that's Nolan's story.
Yes,
I'm talking about a
Robin,
potentially even a 14, 15-year-old kid in tights.
Dick Grayson Robin.
Dick Grayson Robin
Jason
fighting
Todd,
crime.
Tim Drake.
And how to make that
Wayne.
work.
Okay, we'll see. That's tricky.
I have some thoughts.
All right.
So
that's it. All right. So thanks for watching episode 21 of the Batman on Film vlog. And for Rick. Oh, Rick, we got to do it. Here we go. Get ready. Get your mesquite. Channel the mesquite. All right, here we go. Batman on Film. Authoritative. Definitive.
And the dadgum original.
And with that, we'll finally catch you next time.